Now this is the side of riser that has the good line, the one we will measure. So you will notice that the line that we need to get to is at the opposite end of the screw of the quick link. That means that we're going to have to remove all these lines to get to this one. So we'll do that now. And what I like to do is I'll take them all off in order, leaving the one I need to replace, and I tie them together so we don't lose one. And I lay this right on the ground. So I take this line, the one we're going to measure from, and I take it off the quick link. Now, I'm going to follow it up to the first cascade. Because if you remember, we need to get to that top line that I've marked with ribbon. So this is the first cascade. Many pilots think that this line is sewn to these two, but they're not. It's a simple kind of slip knot. Just play with it and you'll see that it wants to come out. See how that one line goes in the loop of the intermediate lines? So all you do is pull this line through its own other loop, and now these become free. I have a rack, so it's nice and handy. I will hang this line close to where I took it from, and now I know that this is the line I need to work with to get to that top line. So once again, I'm going to secure this line somewhere where I can get to it easily. Once again, we come to another cascade. This line here is the intermediate, and we're getting to the top line. So once again, you just push them together, and that intermediate line comes off like so. I'll show you more closely when we reattach on how to get these lines together correctly. Okay, so we're finally to the line that we need to measure. And I will once again secure this one, knowing that these two will be attached to the same intermediate. Now I'm going to take the ribbon off because it's going to be hard to slip this line through with the ribbon on. Now we're to the line tab at the fabric, and it's the same process. If you just push, this line will come out. Sometimes these are pulled very hard when a pilot flies hard and fast, so just keep working it so that it comes out. Now you're free. Okay? Okay, now we have this top line that we're ready to measure. So the measurement I need from you is from the very tip of this loop to the very tip of this loop. Don't worry about the extra line that is sewn. I take care of that. All I need to know is the measurement from here to here. So I have a nice little handy setup in my shop where I hook the line on. I make sure it's even with my starting point, and I'll take my little, once again, this little flathead screwdriver, and I'll give a nice little pull. They like about 5 pounds, and I will get an exact measurement. This measurement that I'm reading is in centimeters, so I see that this line measures at 89.5 centimeters. Now, if you don't have a tape that reads in centimeters, then inches and feet will work. So I simply stretch this line once again, and I see that this line measures at 2 feet 11 inches. Now, if you don't have a tape that reads in centimeters, then inches and feet will work. So I simply stretch this line once again, and I see that this line measures at 2 feet 11 inches. Now, if you don't have a setup like I have, you simply take your block of wood with the nail in it, you place your loop around the nail, you secure the nail so that it measures exactly at 0, and once again you can measure the line this way. At this point, you will fill the form out online on my website completely, having the information you need. You'll know the line length. There's an area there where I would like you to put the color, and so if I can match it exactly, I will do that. Once you've done this, then the order goes into me. I make the line. You will receive this line in the mail within a few days, and so now we will show how to put everything back together. Okay, so we've measured this line, and this is the good line. This is the line you will need to put back on your wing. So as soon as you measure, before you leave anything that can get tangled or messed up, go ahead and take this line and put it back on in the order in which you took it off, and I'll go through that with you in just a minute. By using my lines in a day service, you will get your line very quickly. So if it's all possible, leave the wing set up the way it is, but before you leave your wing that first night, take the line, the good line that you just measured, and put it back so that you don't forget where it went or how it goes, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So here we are now. You've received your new line. Now I'm going to show you how it all goes back together. This is the top line. So you will be attaching it to the line tab. Place the loop into the line tab like that. Okay. Now you take the other side of the loop and you put it through there like that. Now you're going to wrap that over the black tab so that it looks like this. If you're not sure if you put it on correctly, just check its neighbor to see that it's on correctly. An incorrect way to put this on would be simply to put it on like that. That is not correct. You want this loop to go over the black line tab like that. Just practice and make sure it looks like this one. Okay. Now, you remember that we had two top lines that attached to an intermediate line. So it's a very simple process, and here's how you do it. You take these two ends and you take your intermediate line, and once again you thread it through the loop, the first one in order, and now through the second one. So now you end up with something that looks like that. Taking the opposite end of your intermediate line, you place that loop through there, and once again you make sure that that goes together like that, and not like this, but like this. If you're not sure, check one of your other lines to make sure it looks similar. Okay, now we've got these two intermediate lines that attach to the main line. It's the exact same process. You take your main line, you put it through both loops of the intermediate lines. This is the other end of the main line. You slip it through that loop, pull it all the way through, and once again make sure that it rolls over and looks like that. Okay.